everybody, welcome back to our channel. For today it's just gonna be me. I'm gonna be talking all about my wedding dress. Okay, so just a little background on Johnny and I's wedding. We got engaged in December 2018 and then we got married in September 2019. So I started looking for my dress in late January 2019, so about a month after we got engaged. And just to give you guys a couple pointers, before you start to look for your dress, you really want to keep in mind like having your wedding date set. So you want to make sure you have your wedding date set, that way you can have like a pinpoint date of when you need to like have your dress by. So a lot of bridal salons, like they need to know when you need your dress by, if they can get the dress that you choose in time. And then also you have to make sure you have enough time for alterations in case you guys need to make alterations. Most of the time women do get alterations. Sometimes like you have that lucky bride who just doesn't need any alterations and it fits perfectly like a glove, and that's amazing if you can do that because alterations can be pretty pricey. But you just want to make sure before you find your dress that you can A, get it in time, and then B, make sure you have time for alterations, and then C, make sure that you have enough money for like that down deposit. Okay, and then after that you want to make sure you have like a dress budget, and you should really include like everything. So like the dress, the alterations, any accessories like your veil, your shoes, things like that. Make sure you have a budget like in mind before going, because a lot of times you can go and they'll ask you first of all if you have like a budget or whatever, but then you'll go and you'll see like this extravagant dress and then you're like, oh, but that's like $2,000 over my budget. So you just want to make sure that you have a budget in mind. And then also when you're looking for your dress, you want to try out many places. Like don't just go to one place and settle on whatever dress is there. And also don't like feel down if you can't find your dress in the first place. For me, I had like really high hopes on the first place I went to. I didn't go in like that. Like I just was like, okay, yeah, let's just go try on dresses, and made my appointment, had like some of my bridesmaids come with me, my mom, my sister. But then when I got there, I saw all the dresses and I was like, wow, these are beautiful and I love them. And I'll insert some pictures here, just kind of showing you some of the dresses I tried on. And I love them, but it wasn't the one. Like I could have almost purchased them, or purchased the one that I really liked. But I'm so glad that in the end I didn't, because it really didn't even compare to the one I actually got. So don't settle. And definitely go to more than one place. So I went in total just 3 different places. I've had friends who've gone to more, I've had friends who've gone to less, but I went to 3. And then I tried on a total of 23 dresses. Some people think that's a lot, some people think that's like nothing, but I think that was like the perfect number for me. And I would just suggest trying on as many dresses as you can. And definitely try on different styles, because I went in thinking I wanted a specific style, and although I did get what I wanted, like I wanted the mermaid style dress, but then ultimately it wasn't exactly how I thought. Like I wanted one that kind of like would cinch a little bit, but then wouldn't flare out as much, although the one I got definitely like really hugged my curves, and then it definitely went out more, and I didn't know I liked that until I actually tried it on, and the other ones weren't as flattering to my body. And then also you want to like try on things that are right for your body type. But however, don't be discouraged just because they're like, hey, like, you know, you can't wear that mermaid dress, or you shouldn't wear a ball gown or whatever. Wear whatever you feel is most comfortable and whatever you feel the most confident. It's your day, so you want to make sure that you're getting what you want and not what anybody else is telling you to get. Okay, so let's move on. So I ultimately bought my dress at Boli Bridal Couture here in the Bay Area. So definitely, like I said, go to more than one place. Before I went here, I really thought that I found my dress beforehand, but then I got here and I was just like, oh, I'm so glad I came, because that's where I really ultimately found the dress that I absolutely loved. And don't forget that you have to book an appointment beforehand. You can't just show up and say, hey, I want to try on some dresses or whatever. I mean, some places might let you, but most places you have to make an appointment first. And then you also need to know how many people you can bring. Some places will allow you to bring 1 or 2. Some will allow you to bring up to like 9. So make sure you know how many people you can bring, so that way you don't show up with like a whole bunch of people and they just can't, they don't have like any room for you guys. Okay, so like I said, let's get into it. So I bought my dress at Bully Bridal Couture, and my particular dress was a mermaid style dress with like lace and really pretty beading. It has like a low detailed back, and then it's strapped, so it doesn't have, it wasn't strapless. A lot of people went with strapless or like sleeves, but mine just had straps. And then it also had like a really low neckline, which I definitely didn't think I was gonna get. I did not know that was something I was really into, because I'm really kind of a modest person in general. But I really liked the low neckline, and I really thought that my future husband now, was gonna like it, and he absolutely loved it. So I got that. And then my train was a cathedral length train, so I had a pretty long train. And when you're going to look for your dress, also keep in mind if you're going to wear it during your reception, if it's going to be, you know, doable to stay in all night, or if you want to change your dress. I personally did not change my dress. I wore the same dress all throughout my wedding, my ceremony, and reception. I just had it pinned up, the really long train, I had it pinned up. And keep in mind like how long that takes, because when you're at your wedding and you have like transitions in between your ceremony, taking pictures, going to the reception, whatever it may be, keep in mind that you have to pin that dress up before you go to your reception. Luckily my sister, she was able to pin it up for me fairly quickly, even though like we had like even a whole like to do or how to video that we had to record during my alterations. And it took like 5 to 10 minutes to record that, and so like for her to get it down in like 2 to 3 minutes, I was like, oh, thank you, you're a lifesaver. But yeah, so she was able to pin that up, but you got to make sure you know how to do that as well. So keep that in mind if you want like a really long train. So I'll insert pictures of what my dress looks like, and then also like on the day that I tried on, and then the wedding day after is altered and everything. But my dress was a Stella York dress from Australia, and it was actually pretty affordable. I feel like something of that quality and that design would have been like up in like the 4,000, maybe even more than that. But I got it for less than 1,500, so it was really, really nice. It was really good. And the one that I tried on actually was like almost a perfect fit. It had like a little bit on the waist that needed to be taken in, and then a little bit let out on the hips, but other than that, like it fit pretty nicely. But then so I got it altered at Helena Couture, and that is here also in the Bay Area, in the Santa Clara area. And before you do your alterations, oh, so another thing, where I bought my dress from the bridal salon, they didn't do in-house alterations. They actually referred me to the lady that I went to, but they had like a couple that they referred to, but I chose her because she really like specializes in altering with like lace and beading and kind of just making it all seamless, as if there was no like alterations at all, that it just kind of like was produced just like that, just for you. So that's what I really wanted. I wanted to make sure that you couldn't tell that it was altered and kind of like changed or whatever. So I'm really glad I went to her. Just so make sure like you look on Yelp, look up reviews, ask your bridal salon, whoever, about where you're gonna get your alterations done, because it's super important. You don't want to like, you've bought this, you know, really beautiful dress that you're in love with, and you don't want to take it somewhere and then they just kind of destroy it or do something to it that you don't like. So yeah, so just make sure you go there. But so with my dress, I was a little bit more like stern on how much I was gonna pay. I didn't want to really go over my budget or even like pay more than what I wanted to pay. However, with alterations, I was a little bit more lenient, only because I just think that they were so important. Like I really wanted to fit me. I really wanted it to be just seamless, like it never got touched. It was just really important that the dress stayed in its like original, authentic shape and form, whatever it is. And so I did spend a little bit more on my alterations. I actually spent probably the same amount as my dress and my alterations, and I'm kind of like, geez, that's crazy, but at the same time, like I don't think it would have been done any other way. But with that said, don't allow them to like push you and make you get alterations that you don't think you need. my lady, like, I love her. She was amazing. She did such an amazing job. I give her full credit. It's just that, like, there was in my alterations, there was like a little part like underneath my like breast area where she wanted to take it in, and it did look really good. It really did. But for the price, I wasn't willing to pay that much, especially since I was paying so much already. So I asked her not to do that part. And then in the end, she was like, yeah, I'm so glad that you didn't, because it really doesn't, I mean, it looked different, but it still looked really amazing. And I actually think it looked even better how I chose to do it rather than doing the alterations for that. And she agreed. She was like, I'm so glad that you chose to not. So she was really, really helpful and super like understanding. So don't feel pressured to do everything that they say. You have your own word. This is your wedding, your day. And so do what you want to do. Nobody else can tell you anything. Okay, and then so moving on from alterations and where I got my dress and all that, I did have accessories. So funny story, but I got most of my jewelry on Amazon. I got my earrings. I'll insert like pictures. I got my earrings and my necklaces. I wore 2 necklaces and a bracelet from Amazon. It's hilarious because I did not think that was going to be where I'd get my accessories, but I mean, whatever. It's not, I literally am not wearing anything else. Like, I haven't worn that jewelry again. It was just for my wedding, so why would I pay such a, like, hefty price? But I know not a lot of people are like that, so, whatever, to teach his own. So then on top of that, so I got my ideas from like Pinterest, and then I found the ones that I liked on Amazon. And then on top of that, I also wore another bracelet from my mom. It was my something old and something borrowed, so I wore that as well. So I wore 2 bracelets, 2 necklaces, and then my earrings. And then so on top of my jewelry, I also had a veil. And my veil was a royal length veil. It was longer than my dress train. But I purposely did that because I kind of wanted like a certain look. And I'll show you how it looked in the at the bridal shop. But it looked completely different in my wedding because it was so windy that day. I literally had to, like, I had it so pinned in my hair, but then once I started walking down the aisle, I could feel it like tugging and pulling, and it was just gonna fly out. So I stopped in the middle of the aisle and I took it out and I just threw it and I just kept going. Like, sometimes you just gotta do those things and it's totally fine. And actually, like, some people freak out if that had to happen to themselves, but I thought it was funny. It was like something that we look back on, and my husband thought, he was just like, that's so amazing. Like, I was so glad that you did that. He didn't want anything to kind of like ruin our moment, so he was glad. I was just kind of like, whatever, push it to the side, let's keep going. So I'm glad. Like, it made me feel better that he was okay with it as well, because it don't embarrass him. Okay, so I can also show you guys a little video of that. It's pretty funny. I tell you why. And then on top of that, I also had a personalized hanger that said, it had our date written in like wire, and then also had my name, Mrs. Parker, on it. And I'll go ahead and show you a picture of that as well. And I got that off Etsy, as well as my my veil. I got that off Etsy as well. And then I also got Aldo's shoes. So my shoes, I did wear heels, but it was like a really, really small heel, and I'm pretty good about wearing heels. I can walk in heels fine. It's just I did not want to be uncomfortable on my wedding day, knowing that I was going to be on my feet probably for like 8-9 hours. So I did get like a little bit of a heel. I'll show you guys a picture of it. I would just encourage you guys to be as comfortable as possible, and obviously you want to look cute and like, be super like fashionable or whatever. You want to like look your best because it's one of the most important days of your life, but you also want to be comfortable and be confident. So choose what makes you happy, choose what you think you're gonna look good in and what you feel most confident in and what you think your husband will like. And don't let anybody kind of tell you like what to buy or what not to buy, or if somebody has an opinion about something, that's totally fine. You do not have to take their advice, you do not have to take their feedback. I mean, yes, you should still like listen to them, but at the end of the day, it's your wedding. You should do what you want to do. But yeah, all right guys, I hope you enjoyed that. Just kind of, I hope that gave you guys some ideas or tips, or just helped you out if you're going to get married, or you're getting married soon, or you're trying to find your dress, or whatever it may be. I hope that helped you out a lot, and thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. We're gonna have lots of more content coming out, especially with this like quarantine going on. We're just trying to bring more stuff to the internet, bring more stuff to the world that will make people happy and kind of get you out of that funk. All right, you guys, thank you so much. Subscribe, comment, like, and I'll see you later. Bye. I hope that gave you a what?